Okay, welcome back. So today's episode is a little bit different. So, funny story, randomly you end up meeting somebody that kind of inspires you to make an episode. A little while ago, actually a few years ago now, we made a video, so it was just a bit of a history sort of thing on the Chinese sword here, the Dao. And we had our special guest in that episode, the guy from Mortal Kombat. He did a few demonstrations for us, which was kind of him. But today we're talking about a different blade. Now again, being a martial arts related channel, we've talked about things from video games to books to memorabilia, empty hand techniques, bladed techniques, basically all the stuff that I like. And it's not often that we talk about blades. And like I just said before, it's one of those random things I was kind of inspired to make a video. Funny story, I was kind of doing my grocery shopping, right? Tattoos tend to catch my attention. Now the ever non-smooth individual that I am, I end up making conversation about the tattoos, and I noticed that she has a tattoo of a KRIS sword. So boom, straight away I get the inspiration, I know what my next episode is going to be. So today we're going to be talking about the KRIS sword. Now I don't have an authentic KRIS sword, but I do have something kind of close. This is a bit fun, I bought this a few years ago. To my understanding, this is a replica of a sword that was in a PC first-person shooting game, something like that, and it had weapons in it. One of them was a KRIS sword, and sure enough, I thought it was a nice looking blade, so I got it. You can see it nicely as it comes out of the shoe. There you go, look at that. Now, this is a blade, so we've got to be careful not to cut ourselves. As you can see, a little bit prettier, a lot more prettier than our training tool up there. Okay, so this is a very distinctive Southeast Asian blade here, known by other names as well. Very well known in Indonesia, Philippines. It's Javanese of origin. Now it's very distinctive in its shape. A very different looking style to other blades. Have a look at that. Alright, it's beautiful, look at it. I mean, it's just great to look at, and that is the reason why so many people like this sword. Now it's called a sword, but it's probably considered more of a dagger. This one's quite sharp on the tip, as a dagger would be. There's a specific shape here. Very different designs, and many KRIS swords are different designs. For instance, if we have a look at our Chinese Dao here, okay? So, very different, apples and oranges. There'd be obviously different techniques in regards to how these are used as well. It's like different sports cars. There's pluses and minuses for each. Sports cars, what do I know about sports cars? Alright, what else have we got? Another comparison here is, for instance, you've your Japanese style katana, right? Very long, very straight. It's very distinctive. We know these from many forms of media. This is Bokken, again, this is a wooden training sword. Yeah, so when you look at the two different styles of sword or blade, they're very distinctive and they've got personality, and that's what I find interesting. That's what I like about these things, Okay, so as you can see, it's not a real blade because it is a training tool. Now it's made out of a hard plastic, so you can use it for, different drills and things like that. You're not going to cut yourself, and that's cool. Okay, so how can we incorporate one of these into our training drills? Now, a little while back, quite a while ago, we did an episode on double sticks, again originating from the Filipino martial arts. We spoke about some of my favorite movies, guys using double sticks, Jeff Wincott stuff, things like that. And I'm pretty sure we did the 6 count. It's a drill, it's a pattern that has 6 strikes in it. And we did it with sticks, we also did it empty hand. This wasn't a technique or anything like that. This was simply a training drill to get repetitiveness for reference points and things of that nature. Okay, so with the sticks it looks a little bit something like this. You start at a chambered sort of a point like this. So it goes through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So it's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you're back at that neutral spot. So again, you can flow with it, you can put other strikes in there if you want to. Okay, so that's good fun. A very good drill, even better with a partner. The heavy bag will do just fine. How can we incorporate our KRIS sword? Bladed weapons, any bladed weapon fits that drill. So here we've got ourselves a machete and we've got ourselves a KRIS sword. Now the other thing I want to point out is just the shape of this handle here. Again, even with this one, Okay, so it's a very distinctive sort of a shape. It goes downwards. I think they call this a pistol grip because it's kind of like a pistol. From what I believe, the idea behind that shape is to assist in slicing. So you can put more force into your cut by the dynamics of the way the shape is. So when you're cutting the meat at dinner time and you can't quite get through that bird, you just give it a bit of torque with the pistol grip. So without using the sticks, let's incorporate our KRIS Sword into that drill. Good fun. So there you have it, folks. There is our KRIS Sword in the action of a drill. So also used by pirates in Maranao tribes in the southern Philippines. Like I said, the shape is very distinct. It's been likened to, like for instance, say stingrays or like the curves of a snake. More commonly associated with possibly Indonesian martial art of pencak silat. Although when studying and training in Filipino martial arts, these were very prominent as well. So the wavy blade, from what I understand, is more of a modern take on the KRIS, as the older ones were more straight. It was more than just a tool for combat back in the olden days, or in traditional wise. They have a specific meaning about how many curves you have on the blade, right? I think it's a social status thing as well, representing things like bravery, spirit, things like that. You know, evolved from other indigenous sort of blades. Now I believe that would be about the 9th century. Olden days, you know, way back before the Doors, before Deep Purple, before the Beatles, man. You know, it's going back a ways. Now, obviously forged to be a thrusting sword, as we did with our demonstration just before. Now, wielding this correctly because of the shape, you can use this offensively and defensively because of the way the curves are. Going back to physics, the cutting angles, for instance, when you do make a cut, as opposed to one great big slice, depending on the length and depending on which area, which section that you're cutting with, your lacerations are going to be quite varied and distinct. And gruesome as it is, maximized at the certain angles of the blade. If this was to have been buried into flesh, you'd get a tearing effect as you pull this out. So it doesn't just look cool, it's got very specific sort of elements to the design. So as with a few other blades from Southeast Asia, there's a bit of mysticism, mythology that go with these types of weapons. It's also said that some blades can have their own sort of personalities, and I think that goes to lots of cultures in regards to blades. So you can have swords or daggers or blades that can be seen as bad luck, which is interesting, which is a bit of fun. There's also another interesting element to the design of most KRIS blades, and that is the triangular bit here. We can use this as a secondary sort of blade, like we can use the punyo, which is the handle butt. You can use those for locks and things of that nature, but then you've got this section here. This sort of shape can be used for secondary sort of tools as well. It's quite clear, you can use your imagination for that. Also providing a bit of extra protection as well. And again, we described the pistol grip, which can help with your carving motion. A little bit gruesome. Let's go back to the Philippines for a second. There's a wide assortment of different types, different styles of KRIS swords. And obviously each one is individual to each tribe or each group. Something that I always did find to be quite interesting about the KRIS blade, not sure whether it was true or not, when people would forge these things, they would burn poison into the blades. So while being forged, like for instance spider venom, snake venom, things like that. I don't know how something like that can be forged into steel. My understanding, forging something with extreme heat would probably sterilize the blade, but apparently poisons and things of that nature could be infused into the blade when it was being forged. If you had cut somebody with it and they got away, then they would still probably suffer from some kind of illness or something like that. I find it interesting. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of a historical video for you this time regarding the KRIS Sword. A little bit of history, a little bit of fun, a little bit of a drill there in the middle. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. So I've been finding it hard lately just to get the motivation to make videos. So yeah, a big shout out, a big thank you to the lady who inspired this video. Anyways, until next time, thanks for watching.